Hi lads and lasses, welcome to my channel. My name is Morten, and in this video I am going to show you my latest arrival of Depeche Mode vinyl studio albums. And with this video, it's completion time. Those of you who have followed my channel for a while know that I do love Depeche Mode, and I have been gradually not just replacing very old Depeche Mode vinyl records that I still own from my teenage years, which I have in Denmark, not here in my apartment in Oslo, and which I over the last winter realized were in not a very good state, because I got myself a little record player down there so I could play some of the old vinyl albums that I still have down in Denmark. And they were teenage Morton had not necessarily been all that kind to them, I suppose, and time and moving and so on. So I already owned a few Depeche Mode vinyl albums of the later years, since I got a record player again 10 years ago this year, like Violator, for example, Music for the Masses and so on. And then I've been adding one or two of the later records that have been coming out over the past 6 or 7 or 8 years or so. But over the last year, I have been sort of focusing my collecting, as far as Depeche Mode goes, on getting those the rest of them on new pressings, relatively new pressings anyway. And today is that day. I have reached my goal. In fact, I did so a few weeks ago now, but I have been putting off making this video. I don't know why, various reasons. I'm trying to go through some stuff here in my apartment in Oslo and throw out stuff. I have a few things going on in my life and in my world, and one of them is a hope. I don't know if it can happen, that I at some stage will pack up everything here in my flat in Oslo and move and take up residency in my home in Denmark, because I'm ready for a change and so on. But we'll see. And while I was rummaging around, I found actually some old concert, what do you call them? Magazines? Oh, that word disappeared from my head now. But yeah, I found this one. Depeche Mode, 2005-2006. Touring the Angel. So yeah, that was actually the first time that I saw Depeche Mode live. And I did talk about that in a previous video, but I bought tickets to see them, and then I think six months or so in advance, and then there was a competition in a magazine, and I entered that competition, and then a few months later I was called up by EMI Norway, I think it was, and they told me, well, congratulations. I got a text message, an SMS, and they said, come to our offices in Karl Johans gate in Oslo and pick up your prize. And didn't say what the prize was. I'd almost forgotten it. So it was it was 2 tickets. One ticket to see Depeche Mode right up front in front of the stage, and I got some DVDs and I got some other stuff. 12-inch. This is back when I didn't have a record player anymore, and so I sold that other ticket that I bought, and that was almost my first Depeche Mode live experience, because a year or two earlier I had actually seen Dave Gahan play live in Oslo. So I thought you'd enjoy seeing these. And ultra maybe, but yeah, I think this is probably, yeah, this is my favorite of their post Alan Wilder years albums, and it was much better than the previous album, which is one of the albums I'm going to show you today. Very nice photography in here. Of course, the late Andy Fletcher. So you're going from sort of some photos that looks like from the U.S. Southwest, and you got almost like German-looking post-industrial stuff as well. And there's that discography up until then. So yeah, that was forgotten that I had that. So I got 3 of their records. Suppose you got a Depeche Mode Mark 1, that was Vince Clarke, and then you had Depeche Mode Mark 2, which was recorded as a trio, even though Alan Wilder had joined the band, but he was not invited to join the recording sessions for the second album, I think because they wanted to prove that they could do it somehow without anyone coming to help them after the departure of Vince Clarke. And then you had Mark III, which was, of course, with Alan Wilder and the glorious, fantastic days. And then you got, I suppose, Mark IV, Depeche Mode, which was as a trio again, after Alan left. And I guess, in a way, we are at Mark V now, with the passing of and Andy Fletcher, sorry. So here we have Exciter. Now, this is an album that I've always struggled with, and I must admit, after their first post Alan Wilder album, which was a difficult thing for me, because I loved Alan Wilder being in Depeche Mode and what he contributed, but it was still a very strong album, and this to me has always come off as very dull, and it was until recently my second least favorite of Depeche Mode's albums. Delta Machine held that less than honorable distinction of being my least favorite Depeche Mode album. But after I got it on vinyl earlier this year, I've been listening to it quite a bit, and it's been growing on me. So let's see if this could have the same effect. I actually have 2 massive posters, which is this one and the one that is the same flower but in orange, which was one of the singles. So I'll probably do a video later on where I show my entire Depeche Mode collection, and I think that could be fun, although long, which this is getting as well. So let's open her up. Now, this is going to be a longer. I'm going to be talking a lot because it's a special moment for me to I started collecting, or not collecting, but I started being a Depeche Mode fan in was it 83 or 84, and buying my first Depeche Mode albums, and up until Music for the Masses, I had them all on vinyl, and then like so many others, the transition to CDs, and now, and that always felt a little wrong in a way somehow. So there's one of my old vinyls that I'm going to keep, and I don't think I'm going to replace it with a new one, and that's the live album 101. So there it is. This is the first time I have this on vinyl, of course, and I don't think I overlooked it. That's a great gatefold on this one. Yeah, so Dream On, Shine, The Swedish Condition, When the Body Speaks, The Dead of Night, Love Theme, Free Love, which I think was my favorite from this album, Comatose, I Feel Loved, Breathe, Easy Tiger, I Am You, and Good Night, Lovers. So, Daniel Miller on many of these have written quite a bit. And there's your... There we are. And there we are. Yeah, so we got lyrics and the band. Yeah, so this was the Depeche Mode album I got around the time I moved back to Norway after living 7 or 8 years in Denmark. And I actually have a copy of this album on a CD that I bought in South Africa as well. So that was Exciter. Now we're moving back in time, so we're jumping over the Alan Wilder years, and we are all the way back now to their second album, which would be true if I had mixed them up. Here it is. So let's open her up. And this one, I always love the cover, the album cover on this one. It's I think it's at least one of the videos from the singles from this album where Alan Wilder is actually present, even though he wasn't present for the recording. So of course this is a broken frame. When I went to school, I remember in art class I made one of these. Oh, what do you call it? You have a piece of linoleum or something, and then you carve out a picture of it, and then you put ink on top of it, and you can make prints from that. And I made that of this section here, I remember. Wish I had that still. Maybe I have it somewhere, I don't know. So we have the wonderful Leave in Silence, My Secret Garden, Monument, Nothing to Fear, and also equally wonderful See You, Satellite, The Meaning of Love, A Photograph of You, Shouldn't Have Done That, and The Sun and the Rainfall. Yeah, so we have words by Daniel Miller, but this time it's in the gatefold. And the trio back then. Very much a transitional record, but then I guess you could say that about a lot of Depeche Mode's albums. It was a bit of a sort of a socialist, communist, Balkan-ish artwork for this. And yeah, I love this logo here. I remember I was very fascinated with drawing variations of that when I was a kid. So that was that, uh, and we finally reached the end of my Depeche Mode studio album vinyl record renewal, so to speak, and we're all the way back to Mark One, Deep Purple, Depeche Mode Mark One, and that is of course their debut album, which is a very different story altogether. Different sound, different style, music, but of course very, very heavily influenced of the fact that the main songwriter is Vince Clarke. I think Martin wrote 2 songs here, and it is of course Speak and Spell with that iconic cover. Yeah, so we had New Life, I Sometimes Wish I Was Dead, Puppets, Boys Say Go, No Disco, What's Your Name, Side 2, Photographic, Tora Tora Tora, Big Muff, Any Second Now, brackets Voices, Just Can't Get Enough, and Dreaming of Me. Yeah, so New Life was the first single, and we had Dreaming of Me and Just Can't Get Enough. Yeah, it was 3 singles from this. I have a more or less complete Depeche Mode 7-inch collection up until the years when they didn't release 7 inches anymore, and we got CD singles and stuff. And then there's been 1 or 2 releases through magazines and some picture discs from Playing the Angel. I don't actually have those because, you know, no, it's not quite the same in a way. So anyway, again we have a gatefold. Daniel Miller is writing his stuff there, and yeah, we got lyrics on that in the gatefold. This was a bit more shiny than I thought it would be. So, just a black inner. No, not entirely, sorry. That is there. Which is a repeat of what we have on the vinyl. Here we are. So yeah, that was it. My Depeche Mode vinyl collection is complete. I don't have much in the way of 12 inches. Like I said, I have the 7 inches. I have up until about Delta Machine, I have a more or less complete collection of CD singles. But I don't have any of those new 12-inch boxes that they've been releasing over the past years. They are quite pricey, and like I said, I got 101 on vinyl. I have some 5 or 6 of their live DVDs / Blu-rays, including 101, and I have some compilations on CD. I do not have any of their compilations on vinyl. Yes, I do. I have that from the 80s, their first compilation, which I think was just called... It was later re-released with a new cover to look like it was in tandem with the later one. But yeah, I have that on a very old vinyl there. I think in the States, I think they called it Keeping Up with the Depeche... Catching Up with Depeche Mode or something like that. But yeah. So, like I said, Depeche Mode, very important to me. And... 'Cause, 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 it's yeah, it's just a band that has meant a lot for me over the years. Years after Alan Wilder hasn't been the same, but of course that's now. Oh, that's now, what is it? 30 years ago now. Oh, God. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed me waffling on about finally getting these Depeche Mode vinyl albums and finally making a video about it. And which one of these is your favorite? What's your overall favorite? My favorite is when I think there's sort of the quintessential Depeche Mode. That's where they really are. Depeche Mode is music for the masses. It's always had a special place for me. And construction time again, and yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and please click like. That helps my channel. If you want to subscribe, that's lovely. That makes me happy, and I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye.